Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Okay, good morning. I have my daughter with me today. She woke up too early.
Just like you do.
I wake up too early. We got some numbers.
That's what he says.
So let's look at what economic numbers are being released today. Oh yes, we have the ADP non-farm. All right. Here in 15 minutes. Okay, so we're expecting 191K. Numbers can be released. Ooh. Okay, number was probably good. Let's see what it actually was. That's way too much volume to be trading it. Look at those numbers, thousands. Dum, bum, 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 bum. Although we haven't changed it very much, even though tons of orders went off. What do you got? What's the number? Yeah, let's go to, oh, I don't have it open. Chrome. Okay, what were we looking for? 191.
191?
And it was 250. Whoa. 250 is a lot bigger than 191. Yeah.
At least we didn't get lower.
Yeah, it's good that it's higher. That means that a lot of people are getting jobs.
That's good.
That's good.
Because then they can get money.
It means that the treasuries are going to go lower, because everything that's good for the economy is bad for treasuries. Yeah. Okay. So while that's going and still kind of all over the place, let us pull up chat here. Dum bum bum. Oh, we need to post the link, don't we?
You need to post the link for what?
So that people can see the video.
Oh.
Let's post it over here today. Well, no, we won't post it there. What are they saying in... Okay, they're still talking about KCS, which I still need to... It is 250.
Let's see if today we can maybe get higher than that.
Well, so this is a number that they release once a month. So it just happened, and then see what I'll show you here. Boom, boom, boom. Let's bring this over here just so that people can see what we're talking about, okay? So these, every row here is a number that gets released. So this one right here was ADP non-farm employment change, which is estimated change in the number of employed people during the previous month, excluding the farming industry and government. So people that got jobs that aren't farmers or work for the government.
And Fran said, where did you get the number? Bloomberg doesn't have it.
Twitter. Live Squawk, to be specific. Live Squawk, to be specific. Anyways, so there's the other numbers that come out today. So we have at
Fran said, okay.
At 6:30, there's unemployment claims. So like when you lose your job, you can claim unemployment, and that's like every month you put a little bit of money away, and then if you get unemployed, you can make an unemployment claim, and they give you that money that you've been putting in the pool. So you make a little bit of money even if you're unemployed while you're looking for a job, right?
Yeah.
So that tells us the number of people that have been, laid off or unemployed in the past month. So we want that number to be lower than expected. Well, they are pushing down here pretty good at the 185, aren't they? Bum, bum, bum. They're buying it right there, though. What's going on here in the 5-year? Oh, you know what? We forgot to do something. Connect our account here.
What do we have to connect our account to?
To the data server. So that we can put orders in. So look, now I can put an order in to go short. If I click the red
Master
one, we go
Yoda
short,
said
right?
GM all.
Good morning. We got anybody showing up here? Okay, nope, not yet. Oh, except for that it's not able to connect to the chat. Oh, no, there we go. Okay, it's there. And we do have some viewers on Twitch, so that's cool. We can have a lot more viewers on YouTube usually. But it's super early. Even a lot of the people that watch me aren't up this early at 6:20. Okay, so we just got filled, now we're short. Do you see that? See how the order went away and now it's red right there?
Uh-huh.
And see these numbers right here?
Mm-hmm.
If it gets down to there, that's how much money we make.
Wow.
So we can make $15 if it goes down to there.
You could make $218 if it gets all the way down here.
Yep.
Wow.
But it'd be pretty unusual
Fran
for it
said
to go
GM.
that far.
Yeah.
Usually we get 62. Usually that's about how far it goes.
But let's see how far we can make it today.
We'll see. We can look at this chart right here. And this tells us where it's been in the past. So it was, the other day it made it to 123, 170.
Whoa.
So we're going to mark that right there as a low. So that would be 48. And then below that we've got 35. I'm going to say 125. Okay. So that's another low. So we could get to the 125. That is possible. And I like that there's still a lot of people have bought here and we haven't been able to get above it. See that?
Mm-hmm.
So it means that every time that people buy there, more people come in to sell it. So that's good.
Mm.
And we also like that these charts up above here, these are like people that, number of people that have bought versus the number of people that have sold.
Mm-hmm.
So see, overall people are selling it. They're selling it. This one hasn't started selling it yet, but it looks like they're gonna. Ooh, be careful. There you go. Now we've gone down 2 ticks. That's good.
Yay.
I'm liking that.
We just went down one more.
Yep, so there's the 170 we were talking about, right?
Uh-huh.
So let's see if they push through that or if they stop there.
Ooh, it went up. Oh, it went down back.
I want that number to be a little bit bigger. We'd like 2,000 there. Okay. So
It's 2,000. It was out. Shoot, it was.
yeah, that'll probably tick down again.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It went up.
Nope. Not seeing what I want. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. But still not a ton of people.
Yeah.
We want that to be like 1,000, 2,000. Okay. So that's a little better. Just because a lot of people bought there. Okay, there we go. That's a bit more solid. Let's reset this so that it moves it up to there.
Okay, that's the 46.
thinking that we need a little bit more. Ninja Trader crashed. Get your stuff together, Ninja Trader. Seriously. Or I'm going to trade to Sierra Charts. Kill it. Okay, so 28 was a lot of people, but they did. Okay, there you go, 1,000.
Yeah.
What would be really nice? What would be really nice is if this was 3,000 and this was 1,000, right?
Yeah. With 37 people.
37 people bought. Yep. Eat the rest of my breakfast here. Sorry, what did you say?
Right. There are 120 people.
Yep. Now they're selling 16 half.
Yeah.
See the way that we say it? You know that it says 165, but really it's 16 half. 16 even, 15 half, 15 even.
So if 50 people bought it, then you would be right there.
Yep. No, sold it. These are people that are selling it. These are people that are buying it. Oh, look at that. 3,000 people sold it all at once.
Whoa.
Nice, good tick right there.
Oh, yeah. That one was good.
Okay, so when we hit that usual, the 62.50,
Yeah.
this right here is our stop order. So that, if it gets above there, it will automatically get us out at a loss. We just move that down here. So now, no matter what happens, we will at least break even. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good. Hey, malevolent freak. Oh, by the way, I don't even have my Bitcoin chart up. But remember yesterday I was saying we could take a leg lower because the futures was selling, and it looks like overnight they did. I expect them to come back to the view up now, and then we'll see where it goes.
Maybe I should get out here.
Yeah. You can see some people talking to us here. So this guy Malevolent Freak is pretty cool. He's been talking to us for the past week or so. Yeah. We also have this one. We have Twitter. Oh. Hey, who is this other pro trader? Oh, it's Malevolent. Oh, so this is Michelle. This is my daughter. She's in first grade, right?
No,
you're in second grade now.
Going into third grade next year, which isn't in. Well, I can't tell if it's this year or next year.
That's still about half a year off, though.
Yeah.
Still got half the school year left.
Yep.
Okay, wow. So look at how quickly this one came down.
Whoa.
You see there in this chart how there's little gaps between each bar?
Uh-huh.
It's fast.
Oh, yeah, that was fast. Is this for when you do your music, Dad?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, honestly, I haven't used it a whole lot lately, but...
Well, that's probably because you haven't been making music lately.
Nah, haven't had any good ideas for music lately. No, he thinks you're really smart.
What?
He says, Malevolent Freak says you're really smart because it sounds like you understand what's happening. Well, but that's the thing, though, is that being a good trader isn't necessarily about being smart. Some of the best traders that I've met weren't necessarily smart people. They were humble people. Yeah. And they kept things simple. Okay, so they're really attacking those lows now, aren't they? Getting a really good move off of this. And we have more numbers here coming up in a minute. Okay. They didn't even pull. Well, okay, so few people pulled. See how some of those numbers are lower now? Oh, 500. Okay, so 500, that's like... Okay, so that's the low of the day.
It's hard for me to talk. I need water.
So probably the reason why so much is trading right there at that point is because see how that's where we were way back earlier in the day? Mm-hmm. So it was the low of the day previously. Okay, so let's see what unemployment claims came in at. Okay, so unemployment claims were 250 versus 241, which is bad, right?
Yeah.
That's like 9,000 more people unemployed than we expected. Wow, you see that? They're really pushing it too. Look at that.
Block by.
Okay.
Whoa.
Get out.
Numbers just changed really quick.
Yeah. So they see this.
Just one like flash of lightning.
You can't hear it, but somebody bought 33.70 there. Mm-hmm. So I want to get out because it probably means it's over. Let's see if I can get filled at 15.5. Come on, no, don't do that.
Can I have some of your water?
Uh-huh. So we're 12. So this right here tells us where we are in line. So we're 1,200 in line, and there's 2,467 actual people in the line. And only 489 people have sold.
$250 versus $191. Who's Tyler?
Tyler is who we call this guy right here that bought 33.70. 3,370 contracts all at once.
He bought 150.
Yep. Well, he did it at 123.15.5. Okay, we got out. Good trade. High five. All right, so let's pull up here. Well, let's take a closer look at the Bitcoin now. Where's my...
Below said nice trade, Seth.
Thank you. Okay.
What did he say?
He said nice trade.
Oh.
We gotta... It's kind of weird because we have like our Discord, which is how this all started. But then we also started streaming, so we've got people that talk over here. And then we also started streaming on Twitch, so we got people over here too. So.
And this is all like the same guy.
Well, Malevolent Freak is the only one that's talking right now. and we have 7 people watching. Usually by about, I'd say, in about an hour, we usually get 20 to 30 people looking. So, and of course, people always watch it afterwards too, because what they do is they watch the video and pretend that it was happening live and kind of say, okay, if I was trading at this time, I would have sold at this price and bought at this price. And they use the video to practice. So, okay, so we did push a little bit lower even though we got out. So I think that we're going to wait for this to come back a little bit before we try selling it again. Because, you can lose, right? If we sold it and it went up, then you can lose money too. And now that we've made $93, or is it $93?
Oh, wow. That's pretty good.
We don't want to screw it up, right?
Yeah.
So we've got to make sure that we have a good opportunity if we get out.
Yeah.
But we are going to say, okay, we got out here. Probably could have gotten a little bit more out of that one.
Yeah, but at least we got something out of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, when this guy right here that bought it 155, because he probably got short the same place that we did, and he was getting out there. A lot of the time when he gets out, we just don't go any further. We just stay there for a long time. So Tyler is what we call him. So we just we took an exit on that one. It didn't work out. It's okay. Well, sometimes you'll see a signal, a reason to get in, and it just goes against you. Okay, so what's Malevolent say here? I'm trading some really low nominal value coins lately. It feels much more like futures in the sense that there's a lot of volume behind each tick. So that interests me. So Malevolent, which coin and exchange are you looking at? Because I really like anything that is thick. Thick is better to trade. You know what I mean by thick? Like these numbers right here?
Yeah.
The more limit orders there are at each price, the better. So see this one. 200 people. 200 people, that's okay. But 5,000 people, that's good. That's good.
That's really good.
This one right here, can you see this one? How many people do you see at each level on this one? Oops. Right there. Super tiny, isn't it? 2, 1, 1, 1.
2.
Oh, not very thick, is it?
No.
Nope.
And neither are the numbers to see.
Yeah. Well, that's why I have it so small, is so that you can see a lot of them. Wow, look, it just keeps going.
Wait, it went down more?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
We started again.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of.
Now, if it goes lower, is that good or bad? It depends on who you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Because for us, it was good, right? Because we were short.
Yeah.
But is it good for the economy if it goes down or not?
Good.
Yeah, it's good for the economy when it goes down.
Yes.
Well, let me rephrase that. When the economy is doing well, we go down. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is good. Good means that the economy is getting stronger.
Yeah.
It's good. This one right here now. This one is what we call the S&P 500 Emini futures. So this is the stock market. Stock market goes up. That's good. Right?
Yeah.
So stock market goes up. Bond market goes down. Bond, right? That's what we call these.
Alligator said 135 ZN absorption, IMO end of leg down.
Okay. He thinks alligator, who's really good, by the way. A very good trader. He thinks that that print right there is the end of it. And that it's not going to go any further. Let's see if he's right. It's already up one tick from it. Anyways, so we call them treasuries, right? This one is the 5-year treasury, 10-year, 30-year treasury bond. And have you ever heard of that word before, treasury?
Not really.
So what a treasury is it's a note that the government gives you, and you pay $100,000 for it, and the government uses that $100,000 to do government things, and then if you have the note, the government will pay you back a certain amount every year. So this is a percentage. What is the percentage at right now? Let's look. This one right here. Dynamic yield curve. Oh, that's not what I wanted.
Hey, whoa.
They tried pushing down again, but they didn't quite get there, did they?
Nope.
No, well, we'll just look at this one. This one will tell us. Okay. Okay, so 2.7%. So you buy $100,000, or you give the government $100,000, and they give you back $2,700. Yeah. So even though you bought that for $100,000, if you hold it for a couple of years, you're actually going to make more than $100,000, right? Because the government pays you the interest.
That makes sense. But that really looks like a really pointy note.
Yeah. Well, it's a really look. Do you see this right here is like the whole year. So it's really zoomed out. That's how much it changes. And this price is based on what happens here. But see, the we call it the yield. The interest rate goes the opposite of this. So when this goes down, the interest rate goes higher.
So when this goes down, this goes higher.
Brand said took a long and was stopped. Brand said no direction yet.
And if this one goes down, if this one goes up, this goes down.
If this one goes down, this one goes up. If this one goes up, this one goes down. They can't see what I'm pointing at. They're inversely related. You know, it also means that because everybody uses this number for like borrowing. So like if you wanted to borrow money, you have to pay interest. When this goes up, that means you have to pay more interest. So it makes it harder to borrow money. Yeah. So the better the economy does, the harder it is to borrow money. She just kind of nodded at me. I was like, I think I understand what you're saying, but I don't understand why it's important.
Like,
okay, so now we're getting a lot of people buying here at 14.
whoa.
So we could buy it there. I think it's going to go a little bit higher, but I have this rule. So here's my first most important rule. See this orange right here? Right there?
Uh-huh.
We call
Alligator said that's a strong LT support too.
We call that the VWAP. VWAP.
We call it the VWAP?
Yeah. That stands for volume weighted average price. Basically, it's like if you took the price that everybody has bought and sold for the day, that's the average price that they got. Okay, so here's the rule. We only sell below the VWAP, and we only buy above the VWAP.
We don't sell right there.
Yeah, so if it was above it, we wouldn't sell it. We could sell at 19, but if it was like, 20 and definitely like 21 half, no, not allowed to sell. Only allowed to buy up there. Yeah. See, that's this white line right here. So are we above or below the VWAP right now? Are we above or below that line? Oh, now we got another one.
Hey kiddo, you need to go get dressed.
Okay.
Is it time?
About cartel.
Bye-bye. Good job. Okay, let's see. I haven't looked at the chat for a second. Mint on Cryptopia. Okay. Oh yeah, Loveland was basically if the government needs money, it can either ask them to the Federal Reserve for debt or citizens for treasuries. That's the easiest way to explain it. Sure. Who's along with me on ZN? Please start buying. So, IHT. That's why I'm gonna call you IHT because I don't know what that stands for. But what price are you long from? Oh yeah, no, you're good. That's a good price. Good pick. I can't take the counter temperature. That was what I was trying to tell her. I was like, I think it's gonna go up, but because we're below the VWAP, I can't buy it here. No, I think you made a good pick, right? IHT. I mean, from 140, it should be good for at least a few ticks. Maybe even up to where's our jump here? 17? 17 would kind of be more the upper bound of that. But yeah. And then there's that jump at 16. The big order at 16. So that looks like where 16 is where they're going to try and pivot again. Okay, so Adrian Mika was also long here at 14. It was a good pick. I saw Alligator say that, but to me, I didn't necessarily see it as a big deal. Yeah, I think what 155 is a safe exit for sure because it's just below the big order. I like that. But there was lots of absorption down there. I mean, there was lots of absorption all the way down, right? We printed, you know, 3 and 4 thousands all the way down. And then all of a sudden at 13.5, I saw it trade 3,000. And they're like, oh, I think it's going to stop here. I'm like, why? It's doing the same thing it did at every price. But yeah, you guys were right. And I didn't see it. IHT says I'm going for swing, so I'm usually wrong more than I am right, so don't mind me. So do you track like what your win rate is and everything? Bounce is weak, is what Ali is saying in bonds.
Order filled. Order pending.
So what did it just do here? I forgot to turn it on. Bought. Why is it buying here? I thought that it should only buy above the VWAP and sell below. We are above the VWAP. So already something is wrong with the strategy. It thinks that it's a good long here though. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Well, it has made a tick off of it. Well, we've been here in this zipper now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. 8 ticks. Malevolent Freak, did you make any progress with that RSI BTC strategy? Well, yeah, so I think that it's actually called cumulative delta or MACD cumulative delta, whatever. That's the main part of it. So I'm not quite sure what it saw there. Oh, I know why it did it. It's saying we had a crossover in the delta here, where it hit the 0 line, you know, within 5 bars of each other, and so it went long. But it's only supposed to buy above the VWAP and sell below the VWAP, so I don't know why it took that. Where is the man? Like, let me pull up the script here real quick. Cumulative delta MACD. Above, ignore, yep.
Order canceled.
Okay, so what did it just do there? It lost a tick. Anyways, so see here, these are all of the tests. So it tests the VWAP. So it shouldn't have gotten in unless it was above the VWAP. That makes sense. There's something wrong with it. I don't know what that's really weird. because yeah, it could be because I'm actually not running the view up on the right chart, or maybe I don't know. Because one of the things that I found, I'll show you here really quick. This is kind of interesting. Show tabs, duplicate in a new tab. Okay, if I change this to volume and I make it a really small number, like 200. Okay. Oh, actually it's working that time. Sometimes you'll get this situation where the VWAP just is
Alligator said why no idea RN in bonds, but without ES going down I'm not convinced by an upside, rather looking for a short.
Yeah. Anyways, sometimes I'll get the VWAP is just completely not even close to what it should be. So I don't know what the deal is with that. But so to fix it, I just told it to add another chart on there that was like a
Fran said all the DOMs are suggesting short too.
So see here, I added 1 minute bars on here, and the VWAP is based on that one instead of the volume bars. But it shouldn't have taken along there. I don't know what the deal is.
Fran said but delta bars are somewhat long. Fran said so just wait it out until it breaks.
Basically, the strategy backtests really well, but when you run it live, it doesn't do what it's supposed to do. Okay, there's a machine gun going through there. Here's Bitcoin coming back to the VWAP as we were saying earlier. Big orders are buying it for sure. Close above.
I'll just wear my other coat inside of it.
Bot said I would use an EMA that matched the MACD so on a 1000 volume chart using an 8 period, on the 200.
Sorry about that. Excuse me. You probably all having to listen to me swallow and type here. This is still lateral. 100 billion entered the market in the last 30 hours or so, almost all in alts. But see, that concerns me because the thing I'm worried about is that Bitcoin takes another dive and all of the alts go with it. And then all this money that just got into alts gets creamed. Because if they're all going into smaller coins, you know, those could, you know, if those coins come back, it's going to be a much bigger loss for them. So if we don't break through this iceberg and touch 15.5 here, then we get an 11 tick zipper that says that we should go down again. Right now, alts go down when Bitcoin goes up, and not the contrary. Alts will go red when Bitcoin reverses. Yeah. It's kind of a double-edged sword, isn't it? Because if Bitcoin continues to just kind of range and sit here going nowhere, then definitely altcoins could continue to go up. If Bitcoin goes up big time, altcoins might hold or sell off as people move over to Bitcoin. I don't know how likely that one scenario is. If Bitcoin goes down, yes, maybe some people would still be trying to buy alts, but I think overall that if we took another big leg down in Bitcoin, that the whole space would go down. So now you have a situation where you have a lot of money trapped, big time. So it's kind of a more deadly setup than what we had before, isn't it? When everybody was just in Bitcoin. If Bitcoin breaks 16.5K, you'll see like 100, 150 billion market cap move in one day. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, if we break 16.5, then all of the people on alts are going to come back to Bitcoin. Well, yes and no, because I really feel like one of the big things that really drove Bitcoin, because here's kind of the story in my head as I think about it. Ethereum came out. Ethereum was a big deal. Ethereum moved up a ton. That created interest in the crypto market, and because Bitcoin is still the leader and the coin that most other coins trade off of, Bitcoin started going up, and then the forks started happening. So when the Bitcoin Cash fork happened, and then more so with the Bitcoin Gold one, everybody came out of their altcoins to get into the fork so that they could get the free coin, and that pushed us up. So if we were going up because of that, then you would definitely see people coming out of alts again and going back into Bitcoin. But I don't see any of those on the horizon. That's kind of why I'm like, at this point, what would be a driver to push Bitcoin higher? Wow, they finally pushed through it. 13,000. Now they have to trade 15.5. Come on, who's going to be the brave soul that trades 15.5? I know you're out there. Your fingers just itching to click that button. There you go. Okay. Are we actually, where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, they actually have to trade through that and trade 16. Yeah, right now people are scared of Bitcoin, and they should be. I think so as well. Well, you know what? I think that the main thing going on in Bitcoin right now, there's no reason to buy it. And so it's just sitting here because all of these guys in Bitcoin are hold forever. Eventually, a big player is gonna. It's like a game of, what, chicken, right? Eventually, somebody's gonna sell, and then we could have further downside. Because it looks like, yes, there is new money coming into the crypto market, but it's not coming into Bitcoin. That's bad, because Bitcoin is the leader. So if that's really the case, then in order for all of these altcoins to really actually, what would be the word I'm looking for? Okay, we did break out of the channel. I don't know why my chart didn't update correctly, but we are out of the channel. So, and some of you guys that were long, one of you had it at 15.5, so did you get out? Anyways, for all of these altcoins to like reach their destiny, I guess. Like let's say we have an altcoin and it is destined to be the altcoin, or it's really useful and it's going to be worth a lot more than it is today. In order for it to reach its destiny, I think that there would have to be a flippening first. So that makes sense why? I don't know if I explained that very well. I know it was very disjointed, but that's kind of my feeling. Is like Bitcoin's going to come down, we're going to hit that 50, and then there's going to be a flippening, and then all of these smaller coins that we've been mining and that are really speculative, then those can come out and they can actually do their thing. And so like Sia coin, for instance, will see wider spread adoption, and the miners will come out and the price of that will go up, for instance. Is a good example. But in order for Zcoin to really reach like the price that it's destined to get to and become stable at, Bitcoin has to fall. Bitcoin can't be king anymore. Because as long as Bitcoin is there, you've still got this monster of volatility coming up, going all over the place, that can't handle the transaction volume. How can there be a flippening right now if BTC is what most things are paired to? Well, I think that the way that a flippening would happen is we come down and reach the 50 on my indicator, and then range there for a while. And when things actually go back up, another coin will go up faster. You know, Ethereum or Bitcoin Cash, and beat it, essentially. That's how I think it would happen. Okay, IHT says, I'm still holding to take some off at 1720 and final position at 26. Oh wow, you were looking really high there. I think, though, based off of the action that we're seeing, there's a decent probability that we come back to that VWAP at 18.5 and possibly bounce off of it, or at least, you know, mess around there for a little while. If you look in ZB, they've already equalized. Yeah, let's see what they're saying in the Discord. ZN looks ready to tick up. 2 years ago, ZN actually traded. Now we get this 110k trades between 3 prices and nothing happens. Awful, awful, awful. We would get 1 day like today's and then the rest of the week, good trading. Now it's the opposite. Yes, so true, but every market has good and bad days. This is a tough trade now in ZN, I think, because what I'm trying to explain with the images I post in the Discord. So I was just saying, look, everybody went short here after the news in ZB, and they've all gotten out. Same in ZN. There's a couple thousand, but lots of people went short, and now many of them have gotten out. So what's happening is we all know what the fundamental story here is at this point, and everybody understands that rates are going to have to go up considerably from here. Everybody wants to sell it, and we're all on one side, and we all go short. It moves down really, really fast, and then there's nobody left to push it down again. So we have to come up. And when we start coming up, so here's the second thing that I'm seeing is when we start coming up, we're trading a lot of volume at every price. So when we start going up, everybody reverts back to the just taking one tick at a time. So here's a 10,000 at 16 as well. $16.5 key. Well, hold on. The only thing you can buy with BCH right now is BTC. I think that BitMEX, the biggest futures market, only holds and uses BTC as collateral. Yeah, there is an exchange. I forget the name of it, but it like just barely opened up, and they trade Bitcoin Cash pairs now. And of course, there's a lot of Ethereum markets, right? Like Bittrex has a bunch of Ethereum markets. But I think that's one of the main reasons why, if there's going to be a flippening, it's probably more likely at this point to be Ethereum. The reason I still like Bitcoin Cash is because I think that even if there is a flippening, I think there's still going to be a lot of true believer types out there that think that that are going to want to push Bitcoin Cash. Well, Ripple, no. So, here, sorry, let me read what he says first. So, Malevolent Freak says there are also true believers who will want to push Bitcoin and those who think Ripple will become king. So, here's why that doesn't quite match up with what I'm thinking. Because, so for starters, Ripple cannot be the one for a true believer. So what do I mean by, maybe perhaps I should say, what do I mean by a true believer? True believer is somebody that believes that the Satoshi white paper is the Bible, and that the goal is to create a decentralized currency that replaces fiat and is used in everyday transactions. That's a true believer, right? So why can't Ripple be the one for a true believer? Because it's a centralized coin pushed by banks. And the whole point is to create a decentralized coin that isn't owned by the banks. The whole the whole reason that the true believers are in on this in the first place is because they want to stick it to the banks. So that's why it can't be Ripple. Those who want to push Bitcoin, well, yes, but that can't happen as long as there are still high fees in Bitcoin, because these are people that want you to be able to buy coffee with Bitcoin, right? Right now, you can't really buy coffee with Bitcoin because of the transaction fees. So something would have to happen to Bitcoin to get that true believer type to continue pushing it. Like, maybe Lightning Network comes out and it actually does fix the fees. Oh yeah, no, there will definitely be people that will be looking for Ripple to go higher and for Bitcoin to go higher. People that are just buying it because they think it's going to go up. That's the thing that I think is really interesting about cryptocurrencies, um, especially with Bitcoin. I don't think it matters what happens with the coin. Like, it could turn out to just be like the worst idea. Like, something could happen that just proves once and for all that the original Satoshi white paper idea of Bitcoin as a currency for everyday transactions is a really, really bad idea. And there will still be somebody out there, always. There will always be somebody out there willing to pay something for it. Always. Now, it might be that they're only willing to pay 10 cents for it. But as long as there's one person willing to pay for it, you can do this pump thing with it, right? Somebody's going to buy it for 10 cents, and then you buy it for 20 cents, and now all of a sudden people say, oh, Bitcoin is coming back alive. And yeah, there will be a lot of people that will say, well, I've been burned in Bitcoin during the great crash of 2020, and I know that after that Bitcoin was never going to be big again, but that's not going to stop them. And that's what makes Bitcoin different, because you look at other things that were bubbles. There was a point in which it crashed, and then that thing was gone. That company disappeared, or the opportunity wasn't there anymore. Bitcoin will always be there. Yep, it'll never die off completely. Malevolent Frequency said that. Bitcoin will never die off completely. And it is likely, I think, that one of these coins is going to reach maturity and become a significant thing. It might. I don't think that it's ever going to replace fiat, but there's going to be uses for it. So, like this one that was linked into our channel the other day. What was it? Daddy Cloud, DADI.cloud. And this is a cryptocurrency that is intended to be used to power a cloud network. And you can host a node that provides bandwidth, and you can host or you can be a miner and process transactions, instructions. It kind of sounds like Ethereum in that respect. Maybe that turns out to be a good idea, and that becomes a good way to do cloud architecture, and that ends up being better than the cloud offerings offered by Microsoft and Amazon and so on and so forth, right? Then that's something that sticks around and stabilizes, and a high price, but it stabilizes and so on and so forth. Ccoin, another one, decentralized storage. Maybe they could be worthwhile for that. Ethereum, because they got the smart contracts. Not replacing currency necessarily, but even if Ethereum doesn't replace currency, there's still things that you can do with Ethereum, right? That you can't do with money. And so it kind of complements money. That's what I look for. Well, it kind of seems like they failed there. There certainly was a lot of absorption on the upside. ZB pushed through the VWAP, but it's already peaking. Oh, I forgot to turn the volume back on. Nice.
Dominic said I thought coming out of the overnight HRS we'd bounce back up, but when I saw it never happened, I decided to go short. And I let it run. Dominic said honestly, what helped my psychology was to step away with faith in my plan. Dominic said if I sat there watching it I would have gotten out too soon. Dominic said horrible, horrible. But it worked. LOL. Below said well done Dominic.
So, how are our longs? You guys still in them? They've really tried pushing now at this 16.5 many times, and there was a lot of fighting at 15 as well. I don't know if that meant that somebody else was getting short again, or if it was just people getting out. How much came through here? I guess
Below
if we
said
look
long
it,
at 26.
cumulative delta.
Dominic said thanks below, one of my best trades ever.
Here's the price. So it actually took more buying to get above where we were. Is that correct? So there's 155. Yes, it did. Took several thousand contracts to get back above where we were.
Alligator said not sure at Seth, seems, it could break. ES breakup didn't push bonds lower, sign of strength.
Okay, so IHT is still long, but in his stop is at break even. Alligator, not sure.
Fran said seems like bonds should be moving down by now.
Yeah, I mean, I just can't get myself to sell it here. It just doesn't. It There's something fishy going on that I don't understand. It's actually an iceberg at 16. That's interesting. ZF, I suppose, could go down.
Alligator said possibly some flattening. Heath said late to the party. GM nice long below. Missed it? Below said thank ya.
I could buy ZB right here. If I traded ZB and buy it here. I wouldn't be allowed to short it. After our experience from yesterday and what we saw in the back testing, I holding to my VWAP rule more strictly. So I used to say it was okay if we were within one deviation. Now, no, you straight up have to be above or below, because when I back tested it, giving you that one deviation range, it didn't help. It was better to only take them above or below VWAP.
Alligator said trying AL 160.
Well, that was a significant tick down there in ZB.
Alligator said if ES fills its gap it should be enough to break this level. Heath said single print at 06 in ZB. Fran said not able to trade this, scalping bad today, so we'll stop for the day.
Yeah. I might not make another trade today, too. Because normally by now we would have seen some sort of a setup.
Heath said, why do you consider this bad, Fran?
It's not moving.
Alligator said Imo Insti. Establish long-term positions today.
Institutions established. Okay.
Fran said because when I take a scalp either way, it should at least move one tick in my direction after backticking a bit, and it just doesn't. Fran said so had to bail on several scalps and got stopped on one. Fran said so not a good day for what I do. Fran said it's all in the DOM numbers. Heath said I see. Thanks, Fran. Fran said ES is roaring up again. Fran said another high. Fran said geez. Heath said tried to long 28. Too slow. Heath said in UB.
Sometimes, after
Fran
8
said
o'clock,
I couldn't get a single scalp.
Sometimes after 8 o'clock we get a move. And sometimes there's a counter trend move after like 8:15. So, I mean, there might still be opportunities, but I mean, come on, look at that 13K bot.
Fran said because when the numbers reverse on the DOM, which they have been all morning, you have to get out.
Yeah, well, that's because they're on the long end of the curve.
Dominic said agree Seth, need to wait for market to come to us. Fran said I notice when those 2 to 3 tick ranges stay for a while, that it's hard to scalp, unless it really breaks into a trend, which it isn't today. Fran said yup, ZN hasn't broken 165.
Yeah. It's also been in there for how many ticks now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Fran said so, just a dead day in bonds. Dominic said Keith GM, you looking at UB? Prefer that over 30 year? ZB. Fran said UB has longer legs, usually anyway.
Let's just take a look at UB really quick. Yeah.
Keith
UB
said
has longer
Dominic, I
legs.
look at both ZB and UB. Still testing to see how I do with both. Alligator said scratch. Dominic said AHH okay. Thank you Fran, as well. Below said I do well on days like this. Solid morning so far. Dominic said I'm too small a fish to play in ZB or UN right now.
Yeah.
LOL. Fran said I'm doing well with UB, so can't complain, but days like this, nothing is good, except if you're trading ES. Fran said, which I don't do.
Oh, yes.
Can you call Mom? I want to see stuff to wear.
Hold on. Yeah. Let me pull this chart over here. Emini is on a crazy tear. And I mean crazy tear. And all that, and CB is not going down. Okay, so we did break out. So that we traded below that, there's a good chance now that we get pushed back into the channel But there's also a good chance that we get flushed lower. Let's look at ES from a larger time frame. That's just crazy. We've been on a big move up at the start of the year. A very aggressive move up. I really don't know how long this can go on for. It's just really crazy.
Below said I see these ranges in UB as very scalpable with 3T to 5T targets. Below said.
You could just take small ones. I don't know.
Fran said yes they are, although I don't scale, all in / all out. Below said not scaling myself. Fran said if it looks like it's a go I'll move the target manually on the DOM.
So that 13 is the one from much earlier. Yep.
Heath said don't fade, don't fade, don't fade. Dominic said LOL, Heath. Dominic said you in? Heath said LOL just reminding myself.
Recently we've been selling.
Heath said we are at Val. If I see something interesting in the order flow I might try. Dominic said you've all heard it before, but sometimes just sitting on your hands is best.
Yep.
Dominic said fake cells just propping things, Seth.
Yeah. Um. Sitting on the edge. Yeah. What is that? Oh no. Don't do that, please. Do you think it's possible to set a bot to look and buy dips? Something like any coin that has a greater than 10% movement on RSI to below 20? Malevolent Freak, you definitely could, but it would be exchange specific. And you would have to track the data yourself historically. Yeah. Oh, I didn't even realize that part of the reason why they're going up is the Dow punching through 25,000. And all of this while we're having huge winter storms. I suspect, correct me if I'm wrong, but I suspect that these winter storms will definitely negatively affect the economy. I know that we had some big ones last year, but my understanding is that this year is like way worse. What? It can't be for real, really? Look at this tweet from Zero Hedge. 8 days until the S&P hits Goldman's 2850 year-end target. Freaking Emini is nuts. This is too much. See, they want to sell it there. And they're just hitting the wall. Oh, don't play with the tone arm, please. Abby, don't touch the tone arm. That's the arm, don't touch that. Just playing with the techniques. This market bull says a 14% correction would not be quote unquote surprising.
Why are you?
Well, bond market definitely seems to be saying that there is reason for pause here. That's my take. What do you guys think? Looks like most of the guys that are trading have already quit. Let's see what the Wall Street Bets guys are saying. Maybe they'll have something interesting to say. Yeah. Oh, here we go. John posted some signals on his. Oh, it actually gave a couple of buys.
Bot said would still like to see them test or extend the session lows at 151.19, but they're happy sitting here in the 24 area. Dominic said from my chair, if we hit 19 it'd blow below that. Bot said 19 opens the door to test demand in the 16 to 18 area, followed by the 12 to 13 area if they can get moving.
It's pretty, I mean, we've really just been sitting here. Evan, when did we get out of that trade? How long were we in that? Oh. That's interesting. It shows me my NinjaTrader. Okay, what account did it? It did take it on automated. Oh. Yeah, I don't have the, does it? Will it show me my NinjaTrader accounts? Yeah. No, wait, where is it? What would it be called? No. That was the one that I took though, isn't it? Where's the time here? 6:55 and 7. Okay, so that's the automated one. I don't know why it doesn't count that in the total, but it shows up in there. Okay, but for us, we took that one. But when did we get out? It's 6:30. So we've literally sat here for 2 hours and done nothing. Wow.
Dominic said nothing is absolute here, IMHO, but you could be correct, Seth. I was thinking about that area for ZN. Bot said not really, with the employment news this morning 7:30, 8:15 and 8:30 Eastern Time it was hard to get things rolling.
Okay. So John doesn't think that us being slow here is necessarily unusual. And we did have some other news.
Dominic said, does the ES still being on a tier point us in any direction?
No. No, because the correlation has been inconsistent.
Bot said they just bounce off the overnight low at 21 on that last little push lower.
Yeah.
Dominic said, is there a usual correlation, Seth?
Yeah.
Dominic said, good plan to sit out, but I felt a bit more dangerous this AM. I'm short in ZN. Smiling face with open mouth. Dominic said, I see. Cool. Bot said, we're only getting 3 tick pullbacks in this down move so far, could keep going. Bot said, ZB that is. Dominic said RSI heading down in ZN, for what it's worth.
Well, we're definitely going down. It's just, is it going to make a new low? That's the question.
Bot said I'm also seeing that, my dip price MACD was giving higher lows momentum fading on that last test of 21.
Hmm.
Dominic said nice Seth. I wa full time, so I am clearly distracted all day. LOL. Bot said should we call a ambulance for you Seth?
Yes. Yes.
Dominic said LOL.
Okay, well, I think I'm just gonna stop before I'm tempted to take a trade. I mean, my bias would be lower just because we're below the view up, but this looks like a range-bound market. I think it's better to just kind of, if it goes lower, let it
Dominic said
and
actually,
see what
10:30
happens.
MTG starting now.
Anything before I go? I'll wait 10 seconds. Nope, okay. Okay, I will talk to you guys later.